Hey everybody, I've got a really good recipe today. I'm going to show you how to make sour gummy candy. This stuff tastes better than the one you can get at the store, and it's really easy to make, okay? So you just need a few ingredients. For the wet ingredients, you need 1 cup of apple juice and a ½ cup of corn syrup. And for the dry ingredients, you need a 6-ounce pack of jell-o or 2 3-ounce packs. Today I'm trying it with strawberry, and you need a matching pack of Kool-Aid. Ideally you should have the same flavor. You can mix and match, but until you get the hang of this, I would stick with the same flavors. You need 4 envelopes of gelatin. If you start making this regular, which you might, it's going to be cheaper if you get the 12 packs. Okay? And you need some citric acid. Alright? Now this you can buy at any pharmacy or chemist, depending on what part of the world you're in. But they might have to order it for you, but it usually takes a day or so, and it's definitely worth the wait. So what you're going to do is turn the heat on to medium, okay? And that's not going to burn the pot, don't worry about it. Liquid's going to be in pretty quick. And you get 1 cup of clear, unsweetened apple juice. Alright? And if it's a little short or over, don't matter. Okay? Then you get 1/2 cup of golden corn syrup, and just measure that. There you go. Okay. Pour that in. Now for this recipe, you should have a silicone spatula. It just makes life just so much easier for all of it. Alright. Give that just a brief stir. Okay. And just let that come to a full boil over medium heat. Alright? So now, while the liquids are heating up, I'm going to prepare the dry ingredients. Alright? So start with the jello. Just cut the pack open. Get that in a bowl with a tablespoon. Alright. Next, the Kool-Aid. I mean, there's no particular, you're going to mix this up, so it doesn't really matter how you do it. Then the gelatin. I like using scissors for this. Just saves a little bit of time. Just cut the tops right off. Just pop that all in there. Now the citric acid, you got to be really careful with this, okay? You definitely don't want to put too much, though like any dish you can adjust it for taste. Okay, so that's all the dry stuff in. Alright, so what you're going to do is just carefully mix this up, picking up the powder from the bottom until it looks basically even. So the liquid hasn't come to a boil yet, so what I'm going to do is prepare the pan in the meantime. Okay, so for the pan, I use tinfoil cake pans around 7-8 inches, something like that, and I got some plastic wrap. Alright, so what you do is you tear enough of the long piece that you will have some overlap. Okay, again, make sure you do this away from the stove heat, okay? You definitely don't want this near an open flame. It'll melt pretty quick. Alright, now just press the saran wrap into the pan like that. So on either of the short sides it's nearly up, and that you got a really good overlap on the far sides. Alright, and I'll just take that away for a bit. It's nearly reached a boil. At this point, if you're going to be watching it constantly, yes, it is safe to turn the heat right up. Okay? Now, what's important is that you do not splash the liquid up the side of the pan. because if you do, it will stick and it will burn, which is what you don't want. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to carefully nudge the heat up here. Okay, so this is the stage of boil you're looking for. You'll notice on the far side of the pan a little bit did splash up and burn, but as long as I don't pour the candy out through that, it should be okay. Now if you want to test it, what you do see, I just gently move the spatula through the bottom of the pan and it comes to a full boil. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. Turn the heat off. Alright, put that to the side. Get your dry ingredients ready and basically just pour them right in. Okay, like that. Set that to the side. And now I'm going to turn it back on. Okay, right down to low heat though. Alright, the purpose of this is to keep just enough heat going under this that the gelatin dissolves completely before I put it in the pan. Okay. So it's been 2 or 3 minutes at low heat, and what I've been doing is I've been scraping down the sides, avoiding the burned patch, okay, to get the mixture back down into the main massive ingredient here. It's very important that you stir gently, because even with that you can see that there are air bubbles that have been put into the gelatin, and you really don't want that. It'll settle. It'll clear up when it settles, but you still may have some on the top. Okay, for this part I do get a glove because the pan has gotten pretty hot, and I'm going to pour very, very slowly, and if you'll notice the burnt piece is not in here. Alright, there you go. Now for those of you that don't like those bubbles on the top, I'll show you quick how to do this. But like I said, all you're going to do is lose candy, and once it's cold, nobody's really going to notice, and nobody's going to fault you for having an air bubble in things that taste this good. And if they do, well, just don't give them any, alright? There you go. Just pick that off, scrape it into a bowl, and go again. And if there's some that just won't quit, you can just nudge them off into a corner, like that. Alright? So I'm going to let this set on the countertop basically till it doesn't jiggle. See that? It's still got way too much motion. And when it's nearly set, then I'll pop it in the fridge for a few hours, and then I'll show you how to cut it. Alright, so the gummies have been in the fridge for a couple hours there. Alright, so that's what it looks like. Now, this should come out quite easily. See, just grab it on both sides there. Pull it right out of the pan. Pan's on the side. That's clean. You give it a quick wipe if you want. You can definitely use that again. Alright. So it's not, you want, before you turn it over, you want to make sure that the plastic wrap is not stuck in too bad. Alright. Looks pretty good. Okay. So I'm just going to take it quick. Turn it over. See that? Alright. And giving it a tug from the sides. Okay. There you go. You want to make sure it's all clean. There we go. Alright, so that edges up. That's good. See what I'm doing there? Hold it flat. Okay. Alright. So that came off all in one piece. Alright. So, what you're going to do is just start cutting. Make sure your hands, my hands are extremely clean here. It's still a bit sticky. And you're just going to cut it in pieces like that. Alright, you can either use a small knife like I've got. Now if you want to get really fancy and do worms and stuff, you can do that. Alright, actually I think I will get a larger knife. It's a lot easier, and I'll show you in just a minute. Okay, so if you got a nice French knife there, after you cut one strip off if you want. Okay, so then what you do is just get there, oops, kind of rock it through. Okay. And what you want to do is you want to pull off strips like this. Alright? So once you got your strip pulled off, I would just do them all in strips like that first. Okay? Okay? So, once you got enough room, then you want to start cutting them up like that, just in little squares. All right, that's what I got that bowl there for. And that's what I'm saying. See on the other side, right? You might have a few air bubbles in there. Who cares, right? So I think those are pretty good treat size. I'm just going to finish chopping these up. And there's today's recipes. Sour gummy candy. I really hope you guys try this out. It's just awesome. It really, really is. All right, look at the color on that, eh? And if you wanted, you could, if you wanted, get like a cookie cutter or something, and maybe do, you know, little shapes or whatever, stars or whatever that you felt like. And you could get a small enough cookie cutter for this. Personally, once people have tasted these things, they won't really care what they look like, all right? So, once again, thank you for watching my stuff, and I'll see you again.